Hi guys, I'm Killian Wolf. First of all, I want to wish you a happy new year. I can't believe it's 2020 already. I feel like 2019 happened so fast. But I do feel like I accomplished a lot in 2019. So today I'm making this video. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I actually have already recorded this entire video. And when I finished recording, I realized that I had forgotten to turn on the light that goes behind my camera so that I'm actually visible. So now I am doing it again, but that's okay. Hey, my last video, which was my welcome video, I mentioned that I was going to talk about my mistakes, and this is one of them. So I'm correcting my mistake now. So anyways, today I'm making this video to share my goals for 2020 with you. I do have a theme for this year, and that is to write more books. I want to really focus on the writing part of my craft, and yes, write more books. That is my main goal for 2020. Now, obviously, I do know that marketing is important. So I'm still going to be posting on Instagram and of course making these vlogs because this was a goal, but I'm going to try to manage my schedule better so that I don't have to worry about constantly being on Instagram and constantly posting and constantly thinking about how am I going to do this or what am I going to say here. I've decided to create a plan in my schedule so that I feel better and more confident to do that so that I can just focus my time on writing, which ultimately is what I want to do. That's why I want to be an author, or why I am an author. And I also know that I'm really not going to get anywhere without publishing first at least 3 books or my entire series. That's very important to me. So this is why 2020 is going to be the year that I just get all of the books out that I can. So I want to take a moment to describe how I like to set my goals. You may have heard of the acronym S.M.A.R.T, but if you haven't, it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So that in order for me to make sure that I keep to my goals, or at least as close to them as possible by the end of the year, I take each category in the acronym and I write a specific goal down, and then I write a description on how I am going to fulfill my goal. Timely, by when, measurable, how every day, how I'm going to write for 2 hours, etc., etc. 2 hours is just an example. That might not be exactly what I write down for every day, but you get the idea. And I want to make sure, I ask myself, is this a realistic goal? Can I actually achieve this goal by such and such date? And then what I do is I bought myself a nice nifty little planner. Of course, it has a skull on it because I love skulls. And then what I will do is, you see this planner, it has enough space to write down everything that I'm going to do. And I've already started, and then I write down a detail by when I want such and such thing done. So to start, my first goal for 2020 is I want to publish books 2 and 3 of my series of Reapers of the Veil. And I know that this is achievable because I have already started the edits for book 2. I'm around the last passes, so I pretty much have like maybe a week, maybe 2, if I'm kind of lagging a bit, before I give it back to my editor. And then once that's done, I'll give it off to my proofreaders, and then that's it. Then I can publish it because I already have my cover design for it, and everything's already pretty much wrapping up for that book. Right before Christmas, I finished my first draft of book 3. So now I want to focus on the next drafts before I get it really looking good to give it to my beta readers, which I will probably write. I will probably take a video about my whole process with the beta readers, because to be honest, this is actually my first time sending a novel to beta readers. So I'll probably start with the first 5 chapters and then work from there. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. That's for a whole other video. I've used beta readers before for short stories, but never for my novels. And I know it's really weird because I've already published this one, The Haunting at Paradise House, without the use of beta readers. So this is a whole new thing for me. So I want to have all of this done by February 22nd, because that is the date that I have my book 3 going to my editor for. So then I will jot down on my planner that I am going to work on the drafts for book 3 every day for, let's say, 2 hours after lunch, because in the morning I want to put that towards my book 2 edits, so that I can work on the most pressing matter in the beginning. I do want to add, though, that I want to also jot down that I'm going to write for at least 20 to 30 minutes every morning, even before I have my coffee. I know that sounds crazy, especially for me, because I usually can't get anything done before having my coffee, but I've experimented on this with this, and I was just able to write the best that I can of the day right when I wake up, and I was able to get 500, 600 words down before my day even started. So I tested this, and it seems to really work for me, and it really sets the right tone for the rest of my day. So I'm adding that to my list. So the next thing on my list is that I actually do want to finish, well, not finish, but start writing and finish and publish book 4 in my series, Reapers of the Veil, by the end of this year. It's very important to me to get this whole series out, because I have so many big ideas for the next series that I want to write, and my brain just can't stop coming up with ideas. So I find myself constantly stopping and writing a little note here, a little note there, and I have post-it notes all over my desk, which is fine. But I really want to get started on these next series, and I want this series to be out already, so that my readers can enjoy reading books 1, 2, 3, and 4, right one after another, not have to wait for too long. So I'd like to see myself finish draft 1 of book 4 by May. Because if I'm starting in February, that'll give me 3 months, and that is a good speed for me, which I've come a long way, because the first book I ever wrote took me 7 years to finish. So I've learned a lot on increasing my word count. Increasing my word count was something that I had a goal for in 2019, and I've really improved. So I want to keep that up and, finish the first draft by May. That's the plan. Ooh, the next thing on my list is to write more short stories. So I have this idea that I want to finish a short story collection, and it's like all of the short stories that I have written so far, they're all very kind of like Halloween, and some of them are Christmassy, and I have 2 of them on Krampus. So it's going to be like a holiday themed short story collection. So I want it out I want to be finishing it, as in like publishing it, by September. I think that's a good time, maybe late August. So I have to hustle on writing them, but it's fine. I want 25 short stories in total, and I already have, I think I already have like 10 of them. I'm excited to get that out. I absolutely love short stories. I feel like it's really a great way to stretch your creativity, and they're short, especially mine. Mine are only like anywhere between 2,000 words and 2,500 words. Sometimes they're not long. I know that some short stories are like 10,000 words, but not mine. Mine are very short and sweet, and enough to really drag you in, and then give like some sort of cathartic ending, maybe. So I really feel like it's it's very pleasant to take a break from my novel sometimes and to step into a different world and practice some different aspects of world building and create new characters and play around with their personalities and just do something completely different within the craft, within writing. Because sometimes I'll take a break altogether and paint something. So, but short stories is like a break in writing that still has to do, with practicing my craft. So I'm excited for it. This brings me to my next goal, which has to do with a short story. I actually wrote a short story that led to an idea I have for another novel. Sometimes they lead to bigger projects, and that's another reason why I like writing them. So with this one, I have been stopping writing my series to write ideas and whatever, and I ended up just writing like chapters 1 and 2 and using the short story as a prologue. So I feel like I already have the ball going in that, and I don't want to stop. So yikes, that is another book that I have planned to publish by the end of this year. I know it seems like a lot, but I think it is doable. This particular story is kind of writing itself, so I don't think I'll have too much trouble in actually completing it by the end of the year. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. What I might do is to continue stopping and writing whatever comes to my mind while I'm doing other things and just kind of like keep it there and leave it alone so that my goals are actually realistic and I can actually finish them in a timely manner. I really didn't really want to start writing this novel until the end of book 4, but it just keeps coming out. It keeps writing itself and I can't stop it because I feel like if I do, then I'm gonna regret it later. Since I have all of these fresh ideas coming out, I don't want to suppress it either. So you kind of have to leave room for creativity and not be like, no, go away, idea. I'm not gonna look at you until I finish what I'm doing, because I don't think that's very good. I don't think that's good practice either. Especially sometimes I might get stumped in what I'm writing, and then I feel like, I have writer's block, which I don't really believe in. So, I'm just gonna write it as it comes, and if I feel like one day I'm just gonna work on this book and put the series aside, I'll do that. But like I said, I feel like it's writing itself, so I think I will finish it by the end of the year. The next thing on my list is actually a secret. It is, I'm working on a nonfiction series behind the scenes. So I can't tell you too much about it, but what I can tell you is I do want book 1 to be finished by the end of the year, with books 2 and 3 on the way. A lot like I'm doing with my series now, that I published book 1 in October, and 2 and 3 are on the way. So with nonfiction, I'm writing about things that I know, and it's coming out a lot quicker. And so I do think it's doable, and I'm not going to work on that every single day. I'm going to schedule at least 1 or 2 days a week so that I can just focus on that while I do other things in the morning for my fantasy writing, fantasy projects. So I think for that, it is doable to finish book 1 at least, and they're shorter. Book 1 is probably going to be around 40,000 words. So stay tuned for that, especially it's going to be about writing. I've said too much about that already, so on to my next thing in my list is my vlog. As you can see, I have started my YouTube channel, so I had to put that into my schedule. I'm just getting used to recording myself and learning how to edit and the best way to record videos. I bought this nifty little light that is behind my camera, so that's really cool. That's a good step. So next time I need to remember to actually turn that on so that I don't have to do a whole new recording. But anyways, ideally I would like to publish 1 video a week on YouTube. But since I am just starting out, realistically, it takes me a long time to film these videos. So I might just kind of start off with posting them maybe 2 to 3 times a month. So maybe like video, break in between, and then video or something like that. I'll figure it out. So I'm just getting my feet wet. So once I feel confident that I can record all 4 or 5 videos depending on the month to then schedule them, I'm just gonna take it slow and easy and see how I do and take it from there. The next thing on the list is by November, I want to have my platform set up for the charity anthologies that I want to do. I have, as you can see, a lot going on in my writing. So I just want to have the platform set up for it. And I've been working really hard on my website and my Grimm House Publishing website. So I think that by November, I could really have it looking good and actually have an idea of how I'm going to execute these anthology, because I want to learn marketing first and get really good at it so that we don't just promise a charity that, oh, here's a book that we all did for you, and then it doesn't make any money. So I want to take the time from now to then to really learn AMS, Amazon ads, and really, get a following and learn and know what I'm doing before I get any authors together to just write short stories and then wrap it up in a book. So I think by November, I think that's a good amount of time to really get the feel for it. And if any of you writers out there want to contribute to a charity anthology to where the proceeds will go to a charity of our choosing, that would be amazing. Let me know. And if you have any ideas of how this could work, just write it down in the comments and I'll take a look. The next thing is to work on my Instagram presence. Instagram, since I write young adult, my followers are, my readers are on Instagram. So I want to work on actually being able to post in a timely manner, which I haven't really done too well on. I'll post here and there and then I don't really know what to post. So I want to work on that. And I also want to give a shout out to Bethany Achezada. I watched her videos on being effective and efficient on creating Instagram posts before, to schedule them before they even go out. And that video really helped me. I totally did print out a calendar sheet and just made it my posting agenda. And I think it's really working for me. I did have the preview app already installed on my phone and it really does work wonders. I think it's amazing. So, yeah, check out her videos, Bethany Achezada. She is amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much for that video. It really helped me out. So I'm going to try to speed up this video because I feel like it's getting too long. My next category of goals is investments, but investing in my education for my craft. I'm the type of person that believes that one should always be learning and improving their craft, and especially for me when it comes to marketing, I really have no idea or had no idea when I started. Now I know a lot more. So there is this one course called Self-Publishing Formula from Mark Dawson, and I have been told that it is absolutely great. It's a little bit expensive, but when you really think about it, it's not, because you have access to the course for life after you finish it, and he talks about everything you need to know as an indie author, from Amazon ads to just you name it, to cover design and everything. So I feel like this is a priority for me. Don't quote me on the cost. I think it's around $700 or pounds. I'm not 100% sure because I'm in the UK and a lot of times I buy American courses. Yeah, so it might be, well, my phone is dying. It might be pounds or dollars, but that's fine. So that's a huge, that's huge on my list. So the next thing was, 20 Books to 50K has a conference happening in Vegas. They do it every year, and I think it is absolutely amazing. I've been watching their YouTube videos, and just the networking and the valuable information that you take from the conference. Mark Dawson will be talking, along with Brian Meeks, I believe, will be there, and just really valuable, teachers in this industry who are successful indie authors, and I don't want to miss it. So that's something that I have on my list. I want to make the money for, and I want to go. My next goal is to read more books in my genre. Sometimes it takes me a long time to get through a book, not because it isn't good, but because I'm usually reading other books in different genres at the same time. But I really want to grow in my own genre and write better for you guys. So I want to read 25 books by the end of the year. I know some people have 100 books, but I'm being very specific. I want 25 books in my genre by the end of the year. And anything else I read along the way, that's great, but I want to make sure that I get my genre reading goals down. And then on to last but not least, my last goal is, of course, this is on here, eating healthy and exercise. As indie authors, sometimes I feel like, we might get caught up so much in the manuscript that we're creating. And as an indie author, we own a business. This is our business, our baby. So we get really wrapped up in the perfection and the research and several writing projects. And then on top of that, we have to be our own secretary, our own boss. We have to be constantly creating new content for posts and for instance, YouTube vlogs. And it's like, when do you stop? But it's very important, first and foremost, to be healthy. So I want to start by increasing my water intake and drink more water. I'm always dehydrated. I'm dehydrated right now, but I have a glass of water just over there waiting for me to be finished with this video. And I'm usually good with exercise as long as I have a goal to work towards. I used to train karate, and I also used to ride motocross. And at one point I joined the army, and I always had something that I was training for. Now I don't have any of that. So without the training, I really need to give myself a purpose to actually do some exercise. So that's something that I want to look for and work on. And also for eating healthy, it's so easy to just order a pizza when I have a book to finish. That needs to stop for this year. I'm serious, guys. I need to prepare meals. So that's something else I'm putting in my list, is to look up healthy meals that are easy to make and prepare them ahead of time and really get on with that goal, because it's important. It's important, and it's not very good for my waistline to just be like, I'll order a pizza. So anyways, those are my goals for 2020. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that using my SMART goal technique and anything that I was saying in my goals may inspire you to do the same. And if you like this video, please subscribe and ring that little bell to always get an alert for when I have a new video for you. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.